Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to our program on the business plan workbook. That's where we're still on. So today we're going to look at the founding requirements for our small business. MwanaKin is the same example which we're going to use, the same as we used before really. So MwanaKin is our example. So this episode will be based on the founding requirements for MwanaKin on the low budget, because we're focusing on the low budget. The lower we go, the better. So we're trying to remove all the major requirements or unnecessary requirements and the focus on the essential attributes. So in this case, it will be, I will show you like step by step to secure founding for your small business. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Tighten your belt and let's begin. Should we? So launching MwanaKin or Mwanandeke Kindembo, MwanaKin, a self-publishing service, can be achieved with a relatively low budget if we carefully allocate resources and prioritize essential needs. So it is all about putting priorities really. Those needs which are essential only. Not wants, but needs, the necessary things. So which means it is important to keep initial costs low while ensuring all essential components of the business are covered. Keeping the budget low while ensuring all the essential components of the business are covered. That's the main goal. So in that case, starting MwanaKin on a low budget requires careful planning and prioritization of expenses. So expenses. Like below is I'm going to give a detail or a breakdown of the essential costs needed to get the business up and running. So that's the essential thing. We need to get the business up and running. So in this case, this includes both the one-time startup costs and ongoing monthly expenses. So I'm going to split them into two stages: the one-time startup costs and ongoing monthly expenses. Like after providing the details, the total calculated cost will be included at the end of each section. So I'm going to include the total cost at the end of each section. So first of all, we look at the first one. We'll look at the business registration and legal fees. The second point will be on the website and digital presence, like the internet presence, marketing. Then the third point will be on the marketing and promotion. The fourth point will be on the technology and software, which you can use. We have to use for our self-publishing industry, our business. The fifth point will be on licensing and permits, like the permits, trying to adhere with the rules as well. Then the sixth one, we look at the professional services. The seventh point and the last one will be on the initial working capital. So it is all about capital, all about man, all about budgeting. After that, I'm going to give a quick summary at the end. After doing then I'll give the total and the final total, like the first year. So just really a quick summary on the first year, because we don't want to go like a 12-month or 3 years ahead. We're simply planning for the first year, the first 12 months of the business startup. So should we begin, ladies and gentlemen? I think that you're ready on the first point. So just as I said, we're going to split this in the two stages: one-time startup costs versus ongoing annual costs. So let's begin the first point. Business registration and legal fees. So in this case, we need to register the business name registration. That's the first thing. Once we have chosen the business name, in our case, we have like MwanaKin. So we'll say the business name registration will cost us like €50. Since I live in Europe, I'm going to use euro, not dollar or pound. So let's say €50 one time. That one time, only register the name one time, like the business name. The legal fees for contracts and terms of service, it will be, let's say, €300, like one time. We have website domain registration. We can say €50 a year, like recurring. So total cost, that will give us €365 first year, on the first year. The second one, we look at the website and the digital presence, like online presence really. Trying to promote yourself online. Digital presence matters so much since we now are living in the digital world. You need to have this digital presence as well in case for your business really. It's good for promotion as well. So in the case of website and digital presence, we look at the website design and development. Let's say €300 one time. We only develop the website once, then we can keep with the maintenance as well. Then website hosting, let's say 100 per year, like recurring. We have content management system, like e.g. WordPress. You can use WordPress instead of starting a website from scratch. Let's say free or low cost, like 50 euro per year, like for premium themes and plugs in the case of WordPress. So it's say like 50 euro per year, like in the case you need the premium themes and plugs like the AV antiviruses, and try to really to keep yourself secured from phishing emails and scammers as well. Then the SSL certificate, which is like, let's say 50 euro per year recurring. But there's a good website as well, like for Namecheap. Namecheap is a good website for website hosting and the business name registration as well. So simply go and buy your business hosting name. Then you can register with the Namecheap. They have cheap hosting as well, website hosting, including the SSL key or certificate. Let's say a total of 500 euro, like 500 euros first year. So it is like 300 plus 100 plus 50 plus 50 for SSL certificate. Then the third point is on the marketing and promotion. There is crucial word, marketing and promotion. So you have the website now. You have the name registered. Now it is all about marketing and promotion. Try to promote your business really. In our case, this is MwanaKin, trying to focus on the low budget self-publishing. So on the marketing and promotion, it is like the social media marketing. Let's say paid ads, like 100 euros per month, recurring. Email marketing services, let's say e.g. the MailChips, like 330 euros per month, recurring. You have the initial content creation, like e.g. you have blogs and guides, like giving them success stories, which are the guides or how to or do it yourself. So let's say 200 one time, you can hire someone to do that, like the initial content creation, or you have 2 or 3 posters on the website to have more visitors really, or to increase the leads, viewers lead, like people coming to the website, to make it more interesting really. Then we have the graphic design tools, which we can use, like the Canva Pro or the Canva. It's actually free most of the time. Like for my previous books, I usually use Canva for my cover designing. But I can use the Canva Pro. Let's say it will be like 12 euro per month, recurring. So total cost, it will be like 764, like first year, and then 2064 euro per year. That will be like the estimation. The fourth point, we look at the technology and software as well. So you have to keep up with the digital world and try to keep up with the tech as well, tech advancement, tech trends, and all of those points you have to put them into consideration. So in this case, we have like computer, laptop. So if you want to start up like a self-publishing book, you need a laptop or computer. Laptop is more convenient as well, much quicker to type and to carry around. So let's say I have a laptop of 500 euro one time, only buy one laptop one time. So design software, it will be like the Adobe Creative Cloud. Like if you want to design the covers and images, the books will need like images, like frictional or classical books. So for non-friction, you don't need any image, you just design the covers. So we can use like the Adobe Creative Cloud in the case of design software. Let's say it costs 60 euros a month, like recurring. Then we have accounting software as well, in the case of bookkeeping and all of that. If you don't want to hire an accountant, you can just buy an accounting software, like e.g. like the QuickBooks. There's one software for accounting to do all the calculations for you. The Excel is good as well for quick calculations if you're good with Excel or good with tech. So it requires some tech background as well. Let's say the QuickBooks, it costs like 50 euro per month, like recurring. Like project management tools, e.g. like the Trello, we have the Asana, the Asana. It is free or sometimes low cost, let's say 10 euro per month for premium features. That is a cheap price, good price as well, fair price. The total cost, it will be like 500 euros initial, and it will be like 1020 euros, like 1020 euro per year, which is not too bad. Like the fifth point is like licensing and permits. In the case of, it depends really. In our case, the example is simply on the book publishing, but it depends on the type of the business which you're doing. You need licensing, you need permits, and all of those things like that. So in our case, because these are book publishing, so we have to focus more on the ISBN, like the International Standard Book Number, Like let's say you need to purchase ISBN for 10 ISBNs, let's say cost 150 euros one time. So you have a bunch of them, 10 of them. You assign each book need a unique ISBN number. Then publishing platform fees, like if, for example, you have the KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, which is free, like in the case of Amazon. But platforms like the Ingram Sparkle have fees. So in the case of Ingram Sparkle, you need to pay fees for the book to be assigned with the ISBN number. Like let's say, for example, we allocate 100 euros for ISBN, or for like publishing platform fees, like 100 euro estimation. Before you publish, you have to pay like 100 euros. But most of them give like the before cost, really. Most of them you simply tell you to publish for free. In the case of Amazon, KDP. In the case of digital to draft, which is free as well, and they assign you free ISBN. But in the case of Amazon, you get 60, they get 40, or they split up, or 70, 30. So give them 30%, you get 70%, because they assign free ISBN, but it is not free. You have to pay them 30%. Then they will do all the printing, all the shipping as well for you. In the case of Amazon KDP, and the digital to draft. In the case of Ingram Sparkle, you have to pay for publishing. Maybe you have to pay for shipment and printing and all of that, which is more stressful. So let's say a total cost of 250 euro initial. In the case of licensing and permits, it costs of 250 euros, which is initial. Number 6, it's like the professional services. Like you can hire freelancers in the case of try to minimize, because you're focusing on the low budget, not to try to make yourself look rich or something like that, because you're not monetized yet, you're not making any income. You have to focus on the low budget until when you're well established, then you can go on professional ones or premiums as well, premium features. So for professional services, you can hire like a freelance editor fees, like for basic packages like 400 euros, like one time per book, which will be like for basic packages. Let's say 400 euro, allocate that for freelancing editor fees per book, one time per book. You get like the cover design fees. You can hire a freelance as well, like 150 euros. You can pay that one time per book. Or you can use the Canva as well, which is free to do the cover designing for yourself. So in my case, I did it myself because I've got some engineering background, or some IT background really. So in that case, it was easy for me to adapt, easy for me to learn, and easy for me to publish and do all the designings, proofreading and editing as well. So you need like proofreading services. Let's say you pay 200 euro one time per book as well. Every time is like one time per book. Like formatting services, like in the case of formatting, like page numbers, the way you want a paragraph to start, and just inside of the books really. That's all about formatting services. Let's say we pay 150 euro one time per book. So that'll be like 400 plus 150 plus 200 plus 150, which will give us a total cost of 900 euros per book project. So 7, it will be like the initial working capital, which is like emergency fund. Like for emergency fund, you need that as well. So it will be like for unseen expenses, unforeseen expenses. So maybe there can be some surprises. So you need some kind of emergency fund. Maybe something will come, you need this in emergency. So you take that money and then you can spend that. Let's say we have like 500 euro for emergency fund one time. So just put that down, just in the case of emergency or on the raining day, you cannot tell. Yeah, so in the case of the emergency fund, really, like the initial working capital, which is the emergency fund, like this funding will ensure the business is well capitalized and the position to compete in the self-publishing industry. The MwanaKin, it is based on the self-publishing industry, book publishing. Like it will attract a loyal customer base as well and expand its services over time. Like the mix of owner's investment, bank financing, which is loan, like taking loan, and the potential investor contributions will provide a solid foundation for achieving business goals. But in our case here, because we're focusing on the low budget, we didn't include the latter investments, which is like the owner's investment. We didn't take any loan or bank financial. We don't have any investors. So just aiming on yourself, on your own pocket, depending on your own pocket, on yourself. So in this case, we simply focused on the low budget plan. So let's say the cost of an emergency fund is just 500 euros initial. Then we need to do like the total estimated costs, which would be like trying to find the overall calculations really. So we have like the one-time startup costs, which would be like business registration and legal fees, which was 365 euros. Website and digital presence of 500 euro. That's the total. Technology and software initial, it was like 500 euros. Licensing and permits, it was 250 euros. Let's say professional services, first book project, let's say 900 euros. And the emergency fund, which we just did above, of 500 euros. So in total, total one-time cost, it will be like 3,015 euros. That is the total one-time cost. On the second one, because I said I'm going to divide it into 2 stages, the second one we have to look at ongoing annual costs, which will be like web hosting, the things which you really, the things which need maintenance really. There's like the ongoing annual cost, like web hosting, let's say 100 euros per year. The SSL key certificate, it was like 50 euro per year. Marketing and promotion, let's say it was 2,064 euros per year. Technology and software recurring, which was like 1,020 euro per year. So in that case, we have like the total ongoing annual costs. If we add all of those down, it will be like 3,264 euros per year. So ongoing one-time cost is 3,015 euro. On total ongoing annual costs, because we have two calculations or two costs. The total ongoing annual cost, which we just calculated here, it will be like 3,234 euros per year. So in that case, to give like a final total on the first year, it will be like the total for final cost of the first year costs is like one time plus recurring, or let's say one time cost plus ongoing annual costs, which will be like 3,015 euro plus 3,234 euros. That will be like 6,249 euros in total. There's a total of the first year costs. The total of first year cost, all the costs in total, is just 6,249 euros. That's your budget which you need to do all of those services which we name really. So in conclusion, what can we say about the funding for the small businesses? In our case, it is based on the self-publishing industry. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, so I think this is a low budget plan. As you can see, just based on, it is under 10k or 10,000 euros, so just 6k, or let's say 6.3k or 6.2k, because it is 6,249. So this is a low budget plan, as it can be seen. Because assuming that many tasks such as the content creation and marketing will be managed internally to save costs. So in this case, we're reducing the cost because we want to do the content creation and marketing. It have to be managed internally by yourself maybe, or not externally, or try to find an expert, the so-called expert. Now online, everyone is an expert about everything. So you have to try to avoid the scammers as well. So because you're still new to the business, you have to try low, you have to go with the low budget plan as well. So by keeping costs low and strategically allocating funds, like MwanaKin can successfully launch and operate on a limited budget while still delivering high quality services to authors. So that is the thing which we are focusing on, the quality over quantity. So even though the cost is still lower, we can still launch successfully and still deliver like the high quality services to authors, those the newbie, the aspiring authors, the established authors, because we are self-publishing. So you have to put them first as well as a priority. So adjustments can be made based on the available funds. So in the case you might take a loan as well, you may have some self investments, your own investments, or it might be based on the investors like stakeholders. If you get maybe angel investors, that's good as well. So with the optional services scaled up as the business grows. So as the business grows, you can make some like adjustments. There's always a room for modification. There's always a room for improvements. So since you're still in the beginning, you have to focus first on the low budget plan. Now try to say I need 10k, I need 20k, I need 30k. You have to think about the future as well. Try to think about paying bills as well and things like that. So the lower it is, the lower the budget plan it is, the fun it is as well to do the business without too much stress or without too much competition, while at the same time delivering the high quality services to the authors, because as a self-publishing book industry. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Just as we began, subscribe, like, comment, and don't forget to share the video to friends and families, or anyone who's interested to start their own business, or anyone who want to become, or an entrepreneur or freelance out there. So thanks so much. Ciao.